Hello guys. I am here to talk about Noli me Tangere, published in Berlin.
Idea of writing a novel on the Philippines. A book which portrays the brutalities of America's slave owners and the pathetic conditions of the unfortunate Negro slaves. A book that inspired Dr. Rizal to prepare a novel that would depict the miseries of the Filipinos under Spanish rule. Madrid on January 2, 1884. Rizal proposed the writing of a novel about the Philippines, and it was approved by Paternos, Graciano Lopez Hina, Evaristo Aguirre, Eduardo de Leite, Julio Llorente, Melesio Figueroa, and Valentin Ventura. Rizal's project did not materialize, due to compatriots who were expected to collaborate on the novel did not write anything. However, most of them wanted to write on women. He was disgusted and decided to write the novel alone. The writing of the Noli. Paris in 1885. He completed his studies in the Central University of Madrid and continued writing the novel. He finished one half of the second half of the chapters. He finished the last fourth of the novel in Germany, wrote the last few chapters of Noli in Wilhelmsfeld, from April to June 1886. Viola, savior of the Noli. Maximo Viola arrived in Berlin a day before Christmas Day of 1887. He was shocked when he found Rizal living in poverty and deplorably sick, due to lack of nourishment. After Christmas season, Rizal put the finishing touches on his novel. February 21, 1887, the novel was finally finished and ready for printing. In old days of travel, it was possible to travel from another country without having a passport. This led the German police to suspect as a French spy, because Rizal doesn't have any passport to show. Being fluent in German language, he explained to the police chief that he was not a French spy, but was a Filipino physician and scientist. The chief was impressed by his explanation, and fascinated by his mastery of the German language and personal charisma, so the chief allowed him to stay freely in Germany. Printing of the Noli finished. March 21, 1887. The Noli me Tangere came of the press. Immediately Rizal sent the first copies to his close friends. Blumentritt, Dr. Antonio M.A. Regidor, G. Lopez Hina, Mariano Ponce, Felix Hidalgo. March 29, 1887. Rizal gave Viola the galley proofs of the Noli, carefully rolled around the pen that he used in writing the novel and complimentary copy. The title of the novel, Noli me Tangere, is a Latin phrase which means, touch me not. It is however not originally conceived by Rizal, for he admitted taking it from the Bible. March 5, 1887. Rizal wrote to Felix R. Hidalgo and said, "The words were taken from the Gospel of St. Luke. Signify do not touch me." Rizal dedicated his Noli me Tangere to the Philippines. To my fatherland. Synopsis of the Noli. The characters. Capitan Tiago, father of Maria Clara and a friend of Ibarra. Crisostomo Ibarra, the only son Don Rafael Ibarra, a fiancé of Maria Clara. Padre Damaso, a fat Franciscan friar who had been parish priest for 20 years of San Diego Calamba. Padre Cibola, a young Dominican parish priest of Binondo. Señor Guevara, an elderly and kind lieutenant of the Guardia Civil. Don Tiburcio de Espadaña, a bogus Spanish physician layman henpecked husband of Doña Victoria. Maria Clara. She symbolizes purity and innocence of a sheltered native woman. Padre Salvi, Franciscan parish priest of San Diego. Don Filippo Lino, the teniente, mayor and leader of the liberal faction. Don Melchor, the captain of the Cuadrilleros town police. Don Basilio and Don Valentin, former gobernadorcillos and were prominent citizens. Basilio, an acolyte servant tasked to ring the church bells for the Angelus. Crispin, an altar boy and who was as well accused of stealing money from the church. Doña Consolacion, the vulgar mistress of the Spanish alferes. Doña Victorina, the flamboyantly dressed wife of a henpecked Spanish doctor. Elias, distrusts human judgment and prefers God's justice instead. Pia Alba, a young beautiful and spiritual woman. Gobernador General, Occupies the second most powerful rank in the colonial government. Alferes. Lieutenant of the Guardia Civil. Alfonso Linares. Cousin of Don Tiburcio and godson of Padre Damaso's brother-in-law. The Noli based on truth. A true story of Philippine condition during the last decades of Spanish rule. The places, characters, and the situations really existed. The characters were all drawn by Rizal as persons who actually existed. Characters in reality. Maria Clara. Leonor Rivera. Ibarra and Elias. Represented by Rizal himself. Dacio the philosopher. Elder brother of Rizal. Paciano. Padre Salvi. Padre Antonio Piernavea. Capitan Tiago. Capitan Hilario Sunico. Doña Victorina. Doña Agustina Medal. Basilio and Crispin. Were the Crisostoma brothers of Hagonoy. Padre Damaso. Typical domineering friar, arrogant, immoral, and anti-Filipino. Missing chapter of the Noli. In the original manuscript of Noli me Tangere, there was a chapter entitled, Elias and Salome, which follows chapter 24, In the Woods. Deleted by Rizal so it was not included in the printed novel. His reason was definitely economic. By reducing the chapter would its cost of printing. Rizal's friends praised the Noli. Friends of Rizal hailed the novel, praising it in glowing colors. However, Rizal's enemies condemned it. Rizal wrote to Blumentritt, the government and the friars will probably attack the work, refuting my statements, but I trust in the God of truth, and in the person who have actually seen our sufferings. Blumentritt read Rizal's novel and praised and said, as we Germans say, written with the blood of the heart and so the heart also speaks. Dr. Antonio M.A. Regidor, a Filipino patriot and lawyer exiled due to his complicity in the Cavite Mutiny of 1872. Abbott read the Noli and was very much impressed. Yeah, that's all guys. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.